The nonprofit Garnett Cancer Society is an informational community service. The society holds no liabilities nor responsibility for your healthcare decisions or treatments and does not suggest or recommend any particular treatment for your healthcare matters. All references made are for information only. Whatever decisions and choices you make regarding your health and healthcare matters are solely your responsibility. Our mission is to help decrease the fear of the word cancer through information and education, and to emphasize the importance of being aware of and participating in cancer research. The information provided will hopefully benefit all cultures and communities concerning the various types of cancers and their treatments. Thank you for attending. Jessica McCallop-McClellan is a motivational speaker. She has been the keynote speaker at many women's events and inspirational movements. She is also the founder and president of Giving Hope and Help, Inc., Voice of the Voiceless. She is a survivor and advocate for domestic violence and sexual assault survivors, education and cancer support advocate, philanthropist, voice for equality and justice, founder and administrator of the Black, Brown, and White Unite for Change Facebook group, as well as the radio internet talk show host of Jessica Lynn Speaks Life on the KUAW radio station. Jessica has received several prestigious awards and recognition for her philanthropic work, her humanitarianism, and leadership in the community, and for the work she has done through her organization, Giving Hope and Help, Inc. She resides in Kansas City, Missouri with her husband of over 24 years. She loves spending time with her husband, adult children, 2 grandsons, and family.
Hello. Most of you know that I'm Phyllis Garnett, founder and CEO of the Garnett Cancer Society nonprofit, aka GCS. We are so glad to have you with us today. I just want to give you a little prelude of what I will be experiencing during this. As some of you know, currently I am in treatment. And from a recent radiation treatment to my eye, it kind of waters. And so I'll have to dab it and the other. And then here. Please do not be distracted by my dabs. Stay focused on the wonderful, insightful information that's being presented by our guest speaker today. Enjoy. So today, audience, we have a wonderful guest with us. We have Miss Jessica McMack. Now, everybody knows me. They know that I give everybody a nickname.
Love it. I'll take it.
So I will give you the pleasure of pronouncing your hyphenated last names. And we have heard your bio and all that you are doing. You are doing so much in the community. So tell us about Jessica McMack.
Well, I am Jessica Lynn. That's just so much easier, but to say the whole thing, Jessica McCallop-McClellan. Took me about 1 year to write my new last name.
I bet.
Because my maiden name is MCC, and so my marriage name is MCC. So I had to learn to write my new last name, which is kind of funny. But yes, I am blessed and thankful to be here. Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for your diligence and dedication to the cause. And just for, being the bright, shining light that you are. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm honored to sit with you today.
Thank you. Thank you. To God be the glory.
You're welcome.
So, Jessica McCallop-McClellan. McClellan.
Just a lot.
Turn the tongue the right way.
Jessica Lynn is fine.
Okay. Well, I've always called you Jessie, so I'll call you Jessica.
Yes,
right.
That's fine.
So you're a daughter.
Whatever works.
Yeah, right. So you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a wife, you're a mother. I think you're a grandmother, of 2. And so you're wearing all these hats. You're wearing multiple hats. And when I look on Facebook and I see all that you're doing, I say, I just don't understand it. I don't know how she can do all of this. I just want to share a little bit, you guys, so you can see just what I'm talking about. So Giving Hope and Help, she's just wearing all these hats. And I see all these exceptional projects that you're doing. Look at, um, look at this.
Oh, wow. You've put together a collage here. Wow.
You are doing all of this within the community and abroad. And so you've been acknowledged and featured in various events, magazines. Where does all this energy come from?
The passion and purpose to do what God has set for me to do. I worked in corporate America first through college. I actually started working in corporate America in high school, my junior year of high school, and I interned throughout college in corporate America and worked in corporate America for about 30 years.
Wow.
And
don't look old enough to be in corporate America for 30 years.
And one of the things that stuck with me when I decided to launch, or actually to be obedient, to launch the nonprofit, was look at the visions of the different corporations that you've worked for and how you have fulfilled and worked to fill their mission statement and their values.
Yeah.
Now, I have given you a vision. So you can continue to work for someone else's vision, or you can work for the vision that I've given you. And in 2017, I hung up my corporate hat.
Okay.
And from 2017 to today, I have been 100% sold out to the vision, passion, and purpose that God has given me. Awesome. And that's where the energy comes from. I believe that when you have a passion for something, it's not work. Your really wealth is where you, right. It's what is it that you will do for free?
For free, if you didn't get paid. What wakes you up at night and you have to write on your notepad? You get up out of bed and go downstairs in your office and get on the laptop.
You literally just described the way Giving Hope and Help was founded. I had a 70, people ask me all the time, how do you get started? I said it with a 70-page spiral notebook.
Yeah.
And so, he would give me things and I would just write it in his notebook. And I would just write it in this notebook. And, I told my husband, I really want to start the 501c3. And he said, what is keeping you from starting a 501c3?
Good question.
And at the time, my daughter was a senior in high school and it's college tour time, and, college is expensive. And I'm putting all my energy in helping her apply for scholarships. And when she graduated, she had over $200,000 in scholarships.
Awesome.
And it was because I was making her do all this stuff, right? And I'm just like, what my husband said, what is holding you? I said, really just, to get the 501c3 status and to get started website, just $1,000. And he says, that's not a lot of money. I said, well, it was a lot to us at the time because we had this senior in high school on our way to college.
Right.
And so fast forward, I received an email, Phyllis, about a Be Your Possible contest from MasterCard. Be Your Possible. It's kind of funny the way that sounds, but it's like, what would help you be your possible, right?
Sure.
And so I saw this email from MasterCard, and I just thought, I don't have time for that. This is all across the country. There'll be thousands of people to enter this contest. Certainly I won't, win. And God said, write your vision. And I said, I don't feel like writing an essay, God, because I don't feel like crossing my T's, dotting my I's. I just don't feel like an essay right now. So I'm at my computer, at my kitchen counter, arguing with God. And he said, write the vision, Habakkuk 2 and 3. And when he said Habakkuk 2 and 3, I said, I'm going to just write. I just started typing. What my vision was for Giving Hope and Help. And I hit send. And when I hit send, it was if it left me. I didn't tell my husband I entered this contest. I didn't make a copy of my essay. I know what I wrote about, but I don't really know what I said. It was just Holy Spirit inspired, right?
Okay.
So it was just like when you turn off the light switch, you don't even realize you did it.
Mm-hmm.
So about 6 weeks later, I get an email saying that you are the winner of the Be Your Possible contest.
All right now.
And I'm like, what in the world? So I'm at
write the vision and make it plain.
I am physically at a hotel in Jackson, Mississippi on a college tour with my daughter. Had just lost my job.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Had just lost my job and wanted to start this 501c, but put that on the back burner because I got her I got to get her together and da-da-da. Honey, I read that email and it said, you're the winner. And I was like, what is this talking about? I thought it was junk mail. And I looked at the attachments and it had an I-9 attachment. When I saw I-9, I knew this is real. So I kept reading and I fell to my knees and I began to weep and thank God and holler and scream. And my daughter and my sister were there and they were like, what is it? What is it?
And jump up in the bed in the hotel room.
We in the hotel room. And it said, you need to get this notarized, da-da-da. But it was a $10,000 gift.
Oh, how awesome.
For writing the vision.
Yes, yes.
So we immediately got everything together in Jackson, Mississippi, went to a notary, got it sent off, had an interview with another company while I was there on campus, came back to Kansas City, got the job. That's when I started working for Cerner, third party. And I got another email from the MasterCard.
Really?
And it said, we received your information. We don't want you to have to worry about taxes for this $10,000 gift. So we're going to add an additional $2,500.
Oh my goodness.
You'll be getting a check.
Get my name.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a check 6 weeks later, and this is a true story. I got a check. It was probably 4 to 6 weeks later for $12,500 to me. And I did just what I said I was going to do. The funny thing about that check is I never saw it. My husband immediately put it in the bank because he didn't think it was real. He didn't think it was real. And just last year in 2021, I called the bank and I said, I never saw that check because I wanted to frame it.
Okay.
And they actually sent me a copy of the $12,500 check.
Yeah.
And so I have to frame that $12,500 check. And it just inspired me to, wow. And my husband said, if you got $12,500 just for writing what you want to do, wait till you start doing what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's professing and decreeing and declaring that Giving Hope and Help will get $1 million donor so we can do all these things that God has has given me, the vision that he's given me to help his people.
Yes.
And so if you are that $1 million donor, you can go to givinghopeandhelp.org or call me personally.
Go on and put it in there. Go on and put it out there. Go on and put it out there.
You know, we can have what we say. Amen.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's just the beginning. So that's how it began. I used that money to start my to get my website, and I got the job, so I really didn't have to use all of the money. It was there for, when we needed it, and it was a savings, and it was just a beautiful gift gift for doing what God said to do.
Awesome. That is so awesome. I remember that one time you had even shared how your grandparents had all this energy and focus, and I know that your family is very energetic, and to hear that you have all this and helping your daughter and how all of that came about is just amazing. Tell us about Giving Hope and Help. I think which in December 1921, Giving Hope and Help celebrated its 9th annual anniversary, I believe. Is that correct? And with feminine
Right. Well, in December 11th, 2021, we celebrate our 9th annual Feminine Hygiene Period Products Drive.
Right, right. And I believe
Um,
that you also celebrated 8 years of inspiring current cancer patients, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But how and why did your nonprofit come about giving hygiene feminine products?
Okay. So Giving Hope and Help was founded based upon some of the issues that I had and have overcome.
Mm,
And so I always tell people, whatever trial that your life leads you to,
uh-huh.
there is
Say
a
that
triumph.
again. Say that
Or
again.
yeah, whatever trial your life leads you to, there's a triumph, not just for you, but for somebody else.
For sure.
And so as a teen, I had a heavy, heavy, heavy cycle. So that was one, actually my whole life until I was 50. And I talk about this publicly as well.
Mhm.
The issues that women deal with fibroids and things. And so I had a heavy, heavy, heavy cycle until I had to have a full hysterectomy at 50. But that was one of the reasons I used to coupon for period products,
Yeah.
and I had thousands of them. And then I'm also a survivor of sexual assault that I hid for 20 years
Mm.
as a teen
Wow.
because of shame,
Yeah.
because of not knowing that you can talk about that and be safe
Mhm.
and be believed and be heard and be helped. And so I believe that the correlation of hiding that and masking and the way I hid that was I just did the best at everything I could do
Right.
to try to feel, I guess, worthy.
Yeah.
As an adult, I look back and say must have been what I was doing or my process. But at any rate, I believe there's a correlation between being assaulted and getting into a domestic violent relationship.
Most definitely.
And so I founded myself into a domestic violent relationship in my 20s, but it wasn't physical. So I really did not know even what the signs of domestic violence were.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people
I mean?
think that it's only physical, but you got the emotional, you got the financial, they've got the cycle where you can see what domestic violence is. Yeah, but that emotional is
the emotional, I think, is really big.
It's the worst.
It is the worst. And because you're always trying to, now that I'm set free, I still find myself trying to change the channel. Mm-hmm. You got to listen to what channel, listen to the right channel.
Right.
And sometimes we're on the wrong channel. You listen to the wrong message in your head. And so you have to constantly change that channel. And there's triggers and things like that. But at any rate, because of the heavy cycle and the survival of what I've been through, I put the two together, and I knew that I wanted to do something for women, but didn't know exactly what it was. And those issues that I have overcome led me to supporting those that have been affected by domestic violence and their families, into supporting them and the shelters, domestic violence shelters in which they live in. Yes. So we launched November of 2013, supporting domestic violence shelters with period products.
That is so awesome. When I was going through my master's program, I volunteered and was an internship at a domestic violence shelter because I too am a domestic violence. I survived domestic violence. I don't say I'm a domestic violence survivor. I survived it. And so I wanted to give back. And products that came in may have been yours.
Could have.
They could have been
if
yours.
It was between 2013 and now.
And it was so needed because people do not understand the number of families, of women, of young adults that come through. And it's not just one female, it's a female with 4 daughters and 2 sons, or it's a single mother with 1 daughter and whatever. And so those products are so needed. So thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much.
But you are very welcome.
it's important to have family support and inspiring. And I want to share this awesome supporter that you have.
Sugar. That is my sugar.
That is your sugar. So
Yes.
I see that you have an excellent support with him. And how is his behind the scene? Because it is at times behind the scene and social presence beneficial to giving hope and help.
Well, giving hope and help would not be if it wasn't for that man right there supporting what I do. And he always says, I have to do my job and yours too. And yes, you do. And you know, he is a giver.
Mhm.
And he has to be in order to be with me. Because that's
Definitely.
what we do.
Because your
Yeah.
time is always out supporting and giving to others. And so
Yes.
how awesome
Yes.
is that for him to be that supportive, that understanding, and that selfless.
Selfless. Now, he is, wow. I mean, I need to write a book about my honey. He is amazing. He is an amazing gift. He was literally cut for me. And I knew that he was. He and I were a blind date over the phone. We are the
Oh.
real, true eHarmony.
Really?
We were a blind date over the phone and talked and learned about each other. And I literally fell in love with him before I ever saw him, had no idea what he looked like. I refused to receive a description because it didn't matter. And I had no plans on ever physically seeing him.
Oh.
But before I ever saw him, God told me he was my husband.
Wow.
Through the phone conversation.
Sure.
And once we finally decided to meet after 30 days of all night talking on the phone, when he walked into the restaurant to meet me, God said, that's your husband.
That's
I could have married him that moment.
That's a love story.
And
That's
I
a
knew.
book and a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew he was my husband. And we never talked about marriage, not one time. Never said the word, never had a conversation. Of course, I'm waiting for it because I already knew he was my husband, but it never happened until the day he asked me.
Sure.
Awesome. And I asked him, I said, what, we never talked about this. I was blown away. And he said, what's it to talk about if you're not going to do it?
Yeah.
He said, let's talk about it.
He pushed you at the beginning. What's stopping you from starting your 501(c)(3)? That was there. And so that's behind the scene that nobody knew about. That was you guys' private conversation. And I'm sure there have been so many, many more private conversations with you where he's pushed you, supported you, encouraged you, comforted you. Wow, how awesome is that? So we thank him.
Thank you, honey. I'll make sure he watches this one.
What is your expectations with this project, giving hope and help?
Well, I have a vision to help as many people as we can.
Mm-hmm.
I would like giving hope and help to be a household name across the country. For people, so people can know that this is a resource,
Mm-hmm.
that they can receive help in the areas that we serve. And it's not difficult and hard to do. All you have to do is keep on giving.
Yeah.
And my mantra is, I live to give. That's what I live for. I live to give.
I live to give. If everyone had that mantra, woo, wouldn't the world be a better place?
So much.
And we are seeing a lot of people giving, and we appreciate their hearts that are giving. But I live to give. You know, I'm writing that down. I'm giving you credit. I'm quoting.
It's all good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So I heard you say that there are other mantras, if I pronounce that word right. So what other projects are associated with giving hope and help? I know I got a goodie bag that I received for Valentine's Day. Was just awesome, but the little girl's poster and bracelet was just adorable. I just was like, I just loved it. I just like, I want to keep it, but I want to give it away. And I want to keep it, but I want to give it away. And so I am going to gift it to someone of her age in this cancer.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's precious, precious, precious. Well, I'd love to see if I can get little Miss Brooklyn to inspire that young lady. We can talk about that later, but
yeah, we can.
yes.
So tell me about it.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Love Bags for Cancer since we're already talking about it. My niece, my late niece, Tiara McCallop, my sister's oldest child, battled cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a blood cancer. She battled
right
that.
to my next question. So go ahead.
Yeah, she
I
battled
want to
it.
know what piqued your interest into breast cancer.
Yeah, well, it's not just breast cancer. So my niece had Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer, which is a blood cancer. But she was in the hospital a lot on different holidays. And I wanted to do something special for her on holidays, but holidays where maybe weren't so big for everybody, like Valentine's Day. Like Christmas is huge, right?
For
Christmas
sure.
and Thanksgiving is huge. So I wanted to pick some other holidays that weren't as big, where people may be forgetting about cancer patients. Cancer patients may be forgotten about on Valentine's Day in the hospital.
Exactly. That's why we do the coins of love. Actually, it's today from 2 to 4.
Okay, there you go. And I have to learn about that. But I said, let's do something for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
so we said we'll do for men and women, even though it's Mother's Day, the men may have a mother, or they may have a wife or a significant other that they want to bless with something. So we give these bags filled with inspirational items. Now yours was mailed to you.
Yes.
And we started doing the mailings because of COVID. But we have partnerships with hospitals where we physically hand the bags to the cancer patients in the cancer units, and they're physically in the hospital.
And I just want to put a pause right here. You guys, it's going to be information at the end where you can go to Jessica's Facebook and see it. It is amazing. It will literally bring tears to your eyes. If your eye is watering like mine and you got on lashes, they're going to come off. Because it is just so empowering and just so loving and caring. It's just an awesome service that you're doing. Go ahead.
Well, I hope that one day, Phyllis, we can get back to doing that again. I don't know if that's ever changed with COVID, but this year we were able to give bags to cancer patients that are hospitalized at KU. We couldn't go in, but we were able to give it to them, to give it to the hospital at the door. And that is just a breakthrough because we hadn't been able to do it since February of 2020.
Wow.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were able to physically give. So there are news coverages and videos on our website at givinghopeandhelp.org where you can go and see different coverages of us giving bags out in the news. But it is an amazing, I've been getting so much feedback. I just got a feedback the other day from a person who received a bag and said she just cried. We sent bags to people in Kansas City, all the way to Washington and New York.
Wow, really?
So we accepted nominations from the community.
Yes.
And you were nominated by me, but
thank you.
Some people were nominated. I don't know the nominee or the nominator. For instance, the patients in Washington and New York. And so we were able to send those so they could get those for Valentine's Day. You'll never know how you touch people's heart.
You never know. You never know.
But you can put a smile. We've received we've received information from people that we gave them a bag. One patient passed away the next day.
Oh my gosh.
And he was so blessed by the bag.
Yes.
We gave another patient a bag and he passed away the next week. And he was the family reached out and let us know that he passed away, but he talked about that bag.
Yes.
So we are just blessed to be able to bless somebody else, right?
Yes, most definitely.
And I would not have had.
Don't know if it's that last smile or not, but yet it was given. Oh my gosh. Given.
And so if my niece had not had cancer, Love Bags for Cancer wouldn't exist. Here again, for every trial you face, there is purpose. maybe not for you, but for somebody else.
Yeah.
So we continue the Love Acts for Cancer in my niece's honor and in your honor and in all of those that battle and have battled cancer. From 2015 to today, over 600 cancer patients have received the Love Act for Cancer.
That's awesome. I want to share a screen.
Okay.
December 20, 2020, you featured the KUAW Zoom talk, which I, along with 3 other thriving breast cancer survivors, in this very powerful powerhouse interview. Tell me about why you talked about cancer in December when it's normally October.
Because cancer is not confined to 1 month.
Well, you say that again.
It is somebody's story every single day. It is somebody's fight. You're fighting right now as your eye runs from a result of having cancer. And you are an inspiration to so many people.
Oh.
You know,
now that's going to make
you may have
fall.
Cancer, but cancer don't have you.
No, it doesn't. No, my body has been attacked by cancer, but I don't have cancer.
There you go. There you go. And so it's perspective. I think it's perspective is the way you look at it. Just like domestic violence. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is in October.
Right.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month is in October.
Right.
But a woman every 9 seconds or a person every 9 seconds is being physically abused.
Sure.
How can we confine that to 1 month?
We can't. We can't.
So I talk about cancer and I talk about breast cancer and I talk about domestic violence and sexual assault and education every day of my life.
Yeah.
Because it is somebody's fight every single day.
And so I'm just going to throw this in. So yes, because breast cancer and domestic violence is 365, 24/7. And those who have and are experiencing it know it all too well. And may I add that that was a very good interview. I enjoyed it. It was awesome.
And I loved having you all there. I do want to add that a portion of our proceeds from our Love Acts for Cancer donation and delivery events goes to the American Cancer Society, Kansas City, and other small nonprofit organizations like Surviving the Odds in Kansas City, which supports women for mammograms that are under the age of 40.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully I'll be able to get her on for an interview. I'm just putting that out there on blast.
Yes.
Jessica, earlier I mentioned Giving Hope and Help celebrated 8 years of inspiring current breast cancer patients. What does that look like?
Wow, it is a feeling of wow. It's just amazing. I mean, it's kind of like what we just said. Patients sharing with us how they feel, sending emails. I can share a story when we were physically giving out love bags at the VA to men for Valentine's Day. That alone is huge.
Yes.
Because men are usually the ones that are given the Valentines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when we would go into the cancer unit at the VA, we would do it in the unit where they were physically getting their chemo treatments.
Oh, wow.
And walk in with the bag and just, I had one man say he's never received a Valentine in his life and he was over 60 years old.
Oh my gosh.
He said, I've always been the one that's been been giving the Valentine. Mm-hmm. He said, I've never received one.
Never received.
Just to hear that. And these people have fought for our country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was the least we could do. So it was Valentine's for veterans. And every time I bring someone with me, they can't contain the tears. Mm-hmm. It is something. It is just amazing. One young lady I gave a bag to at North Kansas City, February of 2020. And I had a stuffed animal in her bag. And the Holy Spirit told me to grab the bag that had a monkey in it. I had a different bag in my hand, but he said, give her a different bag. I hadn't even walked in the patient's room yet. But, you know, when you listen to the Holy Spirit, you just do what he says.
Exactly.
And so I put that bag down and I grabbed the bag that had the monkey in it. And I went in there, and this young lady was under 25 and fighting for her life.
Mm.
And she had a family member in there, and the young lady was crying. She was not having a great day. And when I walked in and I pulled this monkey out of the bag, she lit up and she was smiling and she was so happy. She said, "Monkeys are my favorite animals." And it had on pink.
Oh my God.
And she said, "Pink is my favorite color."
Oh my goodness.
So that just,
Yes.
I mean, we were all in tears. I mean, she was
Yes.
bawling and she was like, "I'm having such a hard time. And you come in here with this bag."
Yes. And with my favorite pet.
With her
Even though
favorite
it's a
pet and
stuffed
the favorite
animal.
color. And so it's not hard to help someone else.
It's not hard.
Just a small gesture.
It's not hard at all.
It's not
Not
hard
hard at all.
to help someone and give to someone. And so I often share that story about her, and I think about her often. Because of patient privacy, I don't know how she is or where she is, but I'm just grateful that day that God used me to lift her up.
Yes, yes.
So that's kind of what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Well, the look sounds good, but I want to share something with the community, because not only does the look sounds good, the look looks good because it's practice what it preaches. So I was honored with a host of beautiful women what was that, October of 2021, beautiful women of color, to be a warrior survivor guest at the Kelly Connor Wilson Warrior Women's Brunch, October 21. And this event also, I believe, was featured in the Kansas City Globe, honoring Senator Barbara Washington as well. I just want to have you to talk about this, because I hear you talk about your niece, Tiara, and you say her last name again for me, please?
Tiara McCallop.
Okay, and how old was Tiara?
She was diagnosed at 27. She passed at 34.
And so for a long time prior to this, I thought that the brunch was in honor of your niece. And I understand how everything got started because of your niece. Tell us about this. I'm just going to share some pictures as you talk about this.
Well, Kelly Connor Wilson was a friend of Senator Barbara Ann Washington. Mm-hmm. So she actually started the brunch last year. Well, I should say 2020. And Giving Hope and Help was a partner. Oh, I love that picture of us. And this year, 2021, was the second annual Kelly Connor Wilson Warrior Woman Brunch. And Giving Hope and Help was a sponsor for it. Yeah.
I see.
Oh, I love these pictures. You got some great pictures.
This was such an awesome brunch. And one thing I want to say, it was very therapeutic for me, because it's a licensed marriage family therapist, psychotherapist, behavioral therapist, all of that. I sit with my clients and process with them of, trauma and various diagnoses that they go through. And I realized this was my very first time being in the presence of alike women as myself that understood exactly what I was going through. And it was so therapeutic to me that when it was time to share, every time I got ready to open my mouth, it just went, so I never got up to share because it was
just soak it in.
Just so full. It was just awesome. I just want everyone to see the bags, under the table, to see the items on the table, that all that was given. I have 2 bags. I love this bag. You are not alone. Because even though I had round 1 in 2019-20, being here in 2021, and I looked around at all these beautiful women, some of them I thought they were just guests. And then I realized everyone in here, and they stood and gave a story. And yet I was not alone. And here you are doing what you do, giving hope and help. It was just amazing.
That was an epic, epic day. I looked at the picture of us in the globe literally this morning. That was an epic day. It was
really
amazing.
was. Yeah.
And you all made it amazing.
Well,
you all made it amazing. Not the event. It was the ones that we honored who made it amazing, because you guys inspire us.
Oh
We
my
haven't
gosh.
received the diagnosis, but the way that you fight this and the way that you get through this, how dare we complain about what we're going through?
Oh
We
my
can
gosh.
make it.
My
We
gosh.
can make it. That's what
We
you
all
guys do
can
for
make
us.
it.
Yes.
We all can make it. I have a Garnett Cancer Society t-shirt that was designed for the society, and then I edited and added some more to it. And it says, and I quote it, and I copywritten it, even though it's in the Bible and people say it, but I copywritten it. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass. Jessica, I just don't want this to end. It could go on and on and on and on.
We didn't talk about the scholarship program. We got to talk about the scholarship program real
Okay,
quick.
let me hear about that before we go to the final.
Okay, so the scholarship program is our Education is Your Passport scholarship program, and it was founded in 2015 as well, along with the Love Backs for Cancer. And the scholarship program supports underserved high school seniors, as well as single parents with college scholarships. We also support pre-K through adult college, non-traditional students with educational tools.
Pre-K.
And so so we provide backpacks, and we provide school supplies. In 2021, we gave away 2,300 backpacks to the community filled with school supplies. That was in partnership with Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw, 3rd District, Kansas City, Missouri. And that was our second year doing that. Last year, 2021, we launched the Operation Backpack, is what you call it, with Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw, collaborating with her on that in 2020. And we will do that again this summer, August. We will have Operation Backpack, 3rd year. We'll be giving out backpacks, and like I said, we're in collaboration with Councilwoman Raina Park Shaw with that. And then we have our scholarship program, which will happen this June 30th, 2022, where we will award college scholarships. We have one full ride scholarship to award to a student or a single parent. The single parent cannot have gone to college before. The applications are on our website, givinghopeandhelp.org. We have 2 scholarships that are our legacy scholarships in my grandparents' honor.
Oh my gosh, please say your grandparents' names. I just love them so much.
So we have the $1,000 legacy scholarship, the Alexander Senior and Cleo McCallop Legacy of Giving Award.
Yes.
And then we have the $1,000 legacy scholarship, the Literacy Award in my maternal grandmother's name, Neoma Spearman. So the Neoma Spearman Literacy Award, which is $1,000. And this year we're adding some cash to our Perseverance Award. And we're also offering a $750 HBCU award, scholarship award, to a student that is going to an HBCU. I myself am an HBCU grad of Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right.
Human jukebox, baby. So yes. So we are excited about our scholarship program, and our scholarship program is just amazing because we offer scholarships to students that attend schools that my great-grandfather started, the bus company, where he drove students to schools in KCK.
What?
And Missouri. And my grandfather and my dad were drivers. And my grandfather, Alexander, continued the bus company and worked with the bus company along with his siblings. And it was the McCallop Bus Company. Actually,
is that posted on your Facebook? Is that the picture of the bus?
Actually, I was on Great Day KC 2 days ago. Wednesday, which was also McCallop Family Day, proclaimed McCallop Family Day in Shawnee, Kansas. So awesome. Check that out. Yeah. So it's full circle, the same schools that they drove students to from Johnson County to Wyandotte County. They couldn't go to school in Johnson County because they were Black. Giving Hope and Help gives scholarships to those very same schools, to students at those very same schools. So the Education is Your Passport program is coming up is coming up fast, and I got a lot to do.
And you're doing a lot. Look, I'm over here holding my breath. I be telling my clients, now breathe, now breathe. I have to tell myself, now breathe. That's a lot. But
It's a
that's
lot.
wonderful. That's just
But it's,
absolutely wonderful.
it's what God has me to do. So
Sure.
I'm excited about it.
That's your
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, know your why.
Jessica,
Mhm.
what message, what insightful message or inspiring message do you want to leave with our listening audience today?
Well, I think I've said it before. Every trial you go through, there's purpose. For everything that you've survived, there is purpose. And for you to turn it into triumph, turn your test into a testimony,
Yes.
turn your mess into a message.
Mm.
You have to look at it with a perspective to give God the glory out of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I would leave you with that. I would leave you with that.
Much. Thank
Yeah.
you for all that you do, all your relentless work within the communities and abroad, because she has done work in Africa, you all. I just want you to know that. And I can honestly say giving hope and help holds true to its missions, especially when it comes to speaking to cancer and breast cancer and survivors. It's not just October, you all. Domestic violence is just not October, you all. It's, let's say it together, 365, 24/7.
And we can do something about it
And
together.
and you are. Thank you so much for being with us today. This has just been a joy. I've enjoyed everything about it. My lash stayed on. This has been awesome. So thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing from you again.
Well, you are very welcome, and I'm honored that you would think to have me. I'm truly honored. Thank you so much.
I want you guys to know that you can follow Jessica here and make it a little larger so you can see all that good information about this young lady and all that she's doing. We thank you so very much. And that huge supporter that you have behind you, beside you.
Oh, that man. Thank you.
Okay. So there you have it, audience. It's up to you now what you decide to do. You heard what Jessica's motto was, I live to, you finish it, because we'll look forward to your donations.